This is the final recorded announcement that I'm going to make in this course as we move into the assignment phase. We're starting the section that people find the most enjoyable and useful, even though it's something they've felt anxious about, the learning event. We do have a couple of synchronous sessions at the start of week 8 to discuss those anxieties if you want. I've been wondering whether your metaphor or analogy for course design has changed over the past 7 weeks. Before the course started, we shared a range of metaphors and discussions, including journeys, construction, cooking, and also the importance of learning from mistakes. In week 1, we considered different influences on course design stemming from theories about how students learn, and we thought about the potential of technology to lend support to those theories. Then in week 2, we looked at how behavioural and constructivist approaches were brought together in what Biggs has called constructive alignment, a systems-based approach to course design with a strong attention to activities or experiences that encourage students to construct their own learning. Constructive alignment has been very influential on educational institutions. I found it hard to find critiques of it, but I did find a powerful one from scientists, and that's in the wiki. Week 3 added an acknowledgement of the social nature of learning, which is of course particularly enabled through technology, and we saw how this has spawned a number of different accounts of what happens in course design, including social constructivism, which is frequently claimed to be a key influence for online courses. In week 4, in an ambitious group work activity, we looked at the same situation from 5 different perspectives: a systems approach, experiential learning, problem-based learning, connectivism, and critical pedagogy. I think that even given the different starting focuses, there was a remarkable crossover in what the teams came up with. Perhaps this means that the different influences don't make much difference. Or, and I think it's more likely, when course teams get together, they bring previous experiences and influences to bear on their discussions, perhaps unconsciously, and try to bring out the best compromise between them. And if an institution insists on a particular approach to course design, say one based on the establishment of no more than 5 learning outcomes, with aligned assessment, as happens at Edinburgh, then that can often still be combined with a preferred focus. For example, students may even be encouraged to critique the institutional processes to which they're exposed. I hope that our first 3 weeks' work helped you to realise that there can be different assumptions underpinning some of the decisions that people make about designing courses. The theories weren't offered as recipe books, but they do offer explanations of different focuses, and you'll also now be in a position to see how some writers do use a particular theoretical perspective as a rationale underpinning the design of a course. In our second phase, we looked at the other decisions you have to take in course design, such as will there be any face-to-face contact, and what will the balance of online and face-to-face be like? What will you need to think about your users? And is there anyone likely not to be able to use what you plan for any reason? We encourage you to think about this before we discuss specific platforms and tools, and in reality this sequence is a bit difficult. You do need to have something in mind before you can consider whether it's usable or not. Yet we wanted to stress the importance of using tools where usability and accessibility would not be compromised. When we did look at platforms and tools in week 6, inevitably there were some concerns. Why weren't we specifically teaching you how to use them? We hope that the reason will become clear. Our look at course design is an academic one, and a fairly critical one at that. While you do eventually have to opt for your own approach to course design, what you're attempting to do for or with your students will influence not only which tool you choose, but how you actually use it. Again, there are no recipes in this course, though you may be able to find some on the internet if that's what you're looking for. And there are now lots of valuable tools in the wiki. Well done to all those who contributed to this great set of resources. Sequencing is perhaps odd in our final taught week too. Assessment and evaluation could well be the first things that you think about when you're designing a course. They're both forms of judgment and might be used either formatively to help improve something or summatively to determine that a milestone's been reached. Personally, I feel that human beings make formative judgments all the time, even when they're giving summative feedback. And that goes all the way to our week 0 discussions about learning from mistakes. And learning from what goes right as well, of course. I know some of the groups have started to exchange messages, and we wish you all the best over the next 3 weeks as you plan, arrange and conduct your learning events. Some people on the course have had difficult life or work events over the past few weeks and may need some understanding and support during the learning event period. If you find you can't get members of your group to engage with your event for any reason, you can draw on Phil and me to be participants, otherwise we tend to stay out of it. And you can throw open an event to the whole class if you want, but remember that everyone's going to be rather busy. I hope you get as much pleasure from the learning events as previous cohorts have. And remember, if it doesn't work as well as you hoped, you've still got something to learn from and some great people to do it with. We look forward to reading about it.